Hello everyone, welcome to Lukman IS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 10th December 2020. So let us see which are the important articles in today's The Hindu newspaper. So yes, these are the important articles for mains purpose and for prelim purpose. Let us see one by one and take input for our examination. First article on page number 6. Very good article written by M.K. Narayan, former NSA, National Security Advisor. The reality of an India at the crossroads. So the context of the article is not any particular incident, rather series of incidents in recent, let's say last 5 years. The article is discussing about that, and it is saying that these incidents or events have led to diminished democracy in India, and the kind of view the world or let's say other countries that had about India, like the kind of largest democracy in the world, and we can understand that these events have not been, let's say let's say tarnishing the image of the country at the world level. And which are these incidents, which are these events, yeah, you need to know about them, because in essay also or in GS2 also such kind of, let's say, events, incidents you need to mention whenever the question is about whether it is freedom of speech and expression, whether it is talking about other democratic rights or civic rights and they have been denied by the government. ये सारे incidents यहाँ पे उन्होंने enlist किए हैं. So we'll let's say understand, and in the end the recent incidents, let's say event of the farmers bills that are being passed, 3 important bills or laws that has been enacted by the government without any consultation to the stakeholders, be it the farmers, be it the state governments who are going to implement them. So all these things we can say that are covered in this article. So let us try to see these events one by one. Before that, very good statement. Policy makers need not take public opinion as the sole indicator of what is likely to happen, but it is important to acknowledge public fears and reassure people, especially in periods of uncertainty. So basically it is written with the context of recent farmers protest that is going on in Delhi. Okay, so and the deadlock has not been, let's say, resolved yet. So the article is giving the background, like such kind of incidents have happened in the past also, right, in recent past. This is visible from the following. Indian economy is in recession and among the worst performing, let's say, a country in the major nations like BRICS countries and all. India's external relations are quite depressing. China remains intransigent and has made known its unwillingness to reach reasonable settlements at the line of actual control dispute. India-Pakistan relations could hardly be worse. So it is talking about international relations, it is talking about economy, poor state of economy. Then it is talking about dilution of Article 370 of the Constitution, restructuring of or reorganization of the earlier Jammu and Kashmir state into 2 union territories, followed by clampdown in Kashmir and the, let's say, house arrest of entire top leadership of PDP and NCP party. Okay, so this is one particular incident of 2019. It is talking about anti citizenship amendment act protest across the country that has happened. So इसके लिए भी हम देखते हैं कि how the government has curbed the dissent that time also. Election, whether to state assemblies, district councils or even local panchayats, are turning into conflict zones, leading to extremely tense situations. In many instances, they have become the tinder boxes for communal, caste, political and other forms of violence. Okay, so this is again the recent phenomenon that is seen everywhere in India. Constitutional protection and principles of natural justice as also freedom of individual all seems to be coming under strain lately. Okay, so one of which we can say that the recent one, love jihad and enactment of act against that love jihad term, which is not legally acknowledged term, we can say that. Okay, the treatment of political prisoners in jail, this is also one of the concern. For example, plight of Father Stan Swami, a victim of Parkinson's disease, and how he has not been allowed to use that straw, ये जो अभी recently news में था. तो we can understand from that the treatment of political prisoners in India. Labeling dissenters as urban Nakshals and the like and being indifferent to their plight when in custody marks the sharp decline from the past democratic practices. Okay, so political prisoners, they have been, let's say, treated not treated well in recent past by the present government. India is beginning to clamp down on social media platform also and enact draconian laws towards this end. For example, जो recently Kerala ने ordinance pass किया था, so that is the case of example in this, and the new farmers bill yet another instance of imposing measures without any discussion and acceptance by those affected. So without any, let's say, consultation with the stakeholders, we can say that. So these are the incidences in the last, let's say, 5 years, first term of NDA government and the present term, second term. So you need to have a constructive criticism with the help of these incidences, constructive criticism of the government policies or approach towards governance. Okay, so all these let's say examples can be mentioned in that events. Fine. So इनपुट इस तरीके से लेना है, डायरेक्टली इस आर्टिकल पे कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा. ओके, 1000 days of nutrition and billion dreams. So again this is a very good article that is written especially related to the situation of poor nutrition, malnutrition in India, and some important facts again are mentioned in this article, and the way forward is also given in this article. At the same time, the context here is that because of COVID-19 and the lockdown for so many months and decline in economic activities, rising unemployment, lack of livelihood options, all these things have led to let's say many people falling into more and more poverty, and because of that there will be, let's say, more and more malnutrition of those vulnerable population. ओके, तो फ्यूचर में हमें और ज़्यादा इसके ऊपर ध्यान देने की ज़रूरत है. एंड द कॉन्टेक्स्ट वी कैन से दैट देर आर 1000 days completed फॉर पोषण अभियान दैट हैज़ बीन लॉन्च्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट. तो उसी की वजह से ये न्यूज़ में है. सो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड टेक इनपुट फ्रॉम सोशल जस्टिस परस्पेक्टिव. GS2 में ये क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, और डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन कैन बी ऑन पोषण अभियान और इनडायरेक्टली फ्रॉम न्यूट्रिशन. 1000 days of Poshan Abhiyan. Okay, so if one has to pick the single gravest threat that blocks the promise of this young nation at the foundational level, it has to be arguably malnutrition. Okay, तो ये malnutrition का जो issue है, so this let's say is a very grave threat it is talking about. Malnourished children tend to fall short of their real potential physically as well as mentally. This is because malnutrition leaves their bodies weaker and more susceptible to illness. Okay, so we understand from this that those who are malnourished babies, they are more vulnerable for infectious diseases. They are more vulnerable for or we can say that their brain development is very weak, and if further we can understand that we have reduced kind of human resource in future. Okay, so that acts as a burden on the country, on the government. Okay, in 2017, staggering 68% of 1.04 million deaths of children under 5 years in India was attributed to malnutrition, reckoned in Lancet study last year. 68% of total children deaths under 5 are because of, we can say, malnutrition. Children who survive malnutrition do not do as well as they could. Without necessary nutrients, their brains do not develop to the fullest, and no wonder then they end up performing poorly at school and then than they otherwise would. Okay, so the educational outcomes will be very poor. At the same time, this will be very, let's say, the human resource will be of low productivity in future, and ultimately we can say that the kind of demographic dividend we have, we are not able to reap its full potential because of this in future. About half of the all children under 5 in the country are found to be stunted or wasted. ये हमने पहले भी fact देखा है, and this has been, let's say, from the survey that is carried out NFHS जो नेशनल फैमिली एंड हाउस होल्ड सर्वे 4 जो है, एट द सेम टाइम द फैक्ट्स फ्रॉम ग्लोबल हंगर इंडेक्स 2020 in which India has been ranked 94 out of 107 countries. So these important facts can be along with this mentioned whenever we talk about the malnutrition situation. Poshan Abhiyan, that was launched, Prime Minister overarching scheme for holistic nutrition, Abhiyan 2018, that had holistic approach to tackle the malnutrition. Okay, and after launching of this, there was, let's say, the momentum gathered to address this issue. However, we need to renew our commitment to nutrition for two reasons. One is that it conveys deeply symbolic value of first 1000 days from conception of child till the child turns 2 years. तो ये 1000 days का important time period होता है wherein the nutrition of the child is need to be, let's say, sufficiently addressed, provided, so as to have full development of its potential, marking the most crucial period for nutrition interventions in a lifestyle, which once missed could result into irreversible damage to the child's physical and mental well-being. Second aspect is that COVID-19 threatens to derail the gains India had made in nutrition. Okay, for example, COVID-19 is pushing millions into poverty, reducing incomes, and therefore ultimately affects their food security. Pandemic prompted lockdown, disrupted essential services also, for example, such as supplementary feeding under Anganwadi centers, midday meals, immunization, micronutrient supplementation. All these have been affected because of COVID-19 lockdown. Pandemic spurred challenges that have also negatively hit other proven underlying drivers of malnutrition. For example, economic insecurities often force girls into early marriage, early motherhood, discontinue their schooling, all these things because lack of, let's say, economic security. So way forward, we can say that here in this challenging backdrop, leaders from academia, civil society, development partners, community advocates have given, let's say, commitment to the action to seek and support the government in 6-pronged action that includes commitments around sustained leadership, dedicated finances, multi-sectoral approach, and increased uninterrupted coverage of vulnerable population under programs enhancing nutrition. So one of the factors that this Poshan Abhiyan has been successful is that our Prime Minister himself is leading this scheme. Okay, so he has been very strong advocate of ensuring the nutrition to the children, and Poshan Abhiyan has been successful because he is spearheading the mission or Abhiyan. Along with that, ensure coverage of every single child and mother along with 12 months of Poshan Ma, Nutrition Month, 52 weeks of breastfeeding weeks, and 365 days of take home ration for those children and women, pregnant and lactating women. Okay, so whenever the question is talking about the malnutrition, take input from this, some important facts, schemes, and why we need to have, why we need to renew our commitment towards addressing this portion. Okay, so what is important here, one more fact is that to achieve this SDG 1, zero hunger. Okay, so sorry, SDG 2 zero hunger, SDG 1 zero poverty hai, right? So this is very important. From that perspective, India need a renewed commitment to ensure nutrition. Fine. Okay. Next, too many cattle robbing rhinos of nutrition in mini Kaziranga. So what is important for us is Kaziranga National Park is very famous for single horn or one horn rhinos in Assam. Okay, and the largest population is in Kaziranga, and the second largest population of one horn rhinos is in Pabitora Wildlife Sanctuary. So that's why it is called as mini Kaziranga. Okay, so Assam's Pabitora Wildlife Sanctuary, also referred as mini Kaziranga, for similar features of their nutritious food. So the grass, that is nutritious food for this as one-horn rhinoceros. This is very important habitat of one-horn rhinoceros. Second largest, we can say that habitat. Second largest number of rhinos after Kaziranga. Okay, so this is important, that's why it is called as mini Kaziranga. This one aspects and the similar features like nutritious food or grass. Fine. So such kind of question can be asked in prelims examination. Which of the following protected area is also known as mini Kaziranga? So all of these wildlife sanctuaries are from Assam. Okay, so therefore we need to be very careful. This is sometimes in news, and therefore we need to know that this is the habitat of one-horned rhinoceros, Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, located near Kaziranga itself. Fine. Next, Cabinet Node for Public Wi-Fi Networks. This is the new scheme that has been approved by the Cabinet. So, proposal for setting up of public Wi-Fi hotspots across the country via public data offices, PDOs, which could be even a kirana shop or pan shop. The public Wi-Fi access network interface. This will be called PM WANI. Okay. So, this is very important, we can say, scheme in terms of ensuring the broadband services to the common masses. This will involve multiple players like PDOs, PDOAs, app providers and central registry. So what are the functions here? PDOs, for example, पहले PCO होता था, ठीक है, तो PCO से हम जैसे वो 1 रुपए कॉइन डाल के हम कॉल करते थे, या फिर वो बॉक्स से हम कॉल करते थे, इंटरनेशनल कॉल है या नेशनल कॉल है, आउट ऑफ स्टेट, तो वो PCO जो रहता था. So in the same manner there will be PDOs, okay, public data offices. Okay, so these PDOs, public data offices, will be like PCOs, and they will establish, maintain or operate Wi-Fi access points and deliver the broadband services to the subscribers. The PDOAs, aggregators of PDOs and perform functions such as authorization and accounting. Then the app provider will develop an app to register users and discover PM WANI compliant Wi-Fi hotspot nearby. Along with that, details of all these three will be maintained by a central registry. So this is the new scheme, PM WANI. So for prelims examination, this is important. So these 4 stakeholders you need to remember about PM WANI. It is about ensuring broadband services to the common people, masses in the public places, we can say that. So this is a good initiative. Then don't paste quarantine posters, Supreme Court. So earlier also we were discussing this news, and one PIL was filed in Supreme Court about this the kind of poster that is attached to the COVID-19 patient house, and it, let's say, hampers that person's right to privacy under Article 21 that has been interpreted by Supreme Court. So this right to privacy has been, let's say, hampers, and that's for now the Supreme Court has said that no state or union territory is required to paste such poster outside the residence of COVID-19 positive persons as of now. The state governments and union territories resort to the above exercise only when any direction is issued by the competent authority under Disaster Management Act 2005. ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे एक्सेप्शन है, अगर इस अथॉरिटी ने उनको बोला है, if there is notification issued by the authority, then only they are allowed to do that. And center had said that November 19 guidelines letters to states and union territories does not contain any such instruction, and therefore the court noted that Delhi and Punjab government have already withdrawn the orders to paste such posters. Earlier this was followed in lockdown period also. Such kind of pasting of this notice, यहाँ पे दिख रहा है आपको, ये ऐसे नोटिस रहती थी, उस पे यहाँ पे उस नाम रहता था, पेशेंट का एड्रेस रहता था, and because of that what used to happen is some kind of social stigma was attached to that person. The family members of that person were isolated, even the neighbors, relatives would not, let's say, talk to them or meet them, or let's say emergency services were not provided because of that. So that has been like a kind of affecting their life, right to privacy also, their name was spread in the locality without their knowledge. तो ये सारी चीजें जो है नहीं होनी चाहिए, right? Okay. Cattle, buffalo meat, residue found in Indus Valley vessels. So Indus Valley civilization is important from culture perspective, art and culture. So every year there will be question for prelims, as well as somehow question may appear in mains examination related to Indus Valley civilization. So you need to be aware about the developments in current affairs as well as some basics, जो basics जो है art and culture में आपको पढ़ना है, right? So the new study has found the presence of animal products including cattle and buffalo meat in the ceramic vessels dating back to 4,600 years at 7 Indus Valley civilization sites present in Haryana and UP. Okay, about 50 to 60% of the domestic animal bones found in Indus Valley comes from cattle and buffalo, and this may suggest, okay, cultural preference for beef consumption across Indus Valley population, supplemented by consumption of mutton and lamb. Okay, so this new study, this is let's say directed towards understanding whether they consumed any non-vegetarian kind of food. So this has been done by understanding or studying lipids. Okay, so lipids are relatively less prone to degradation and have been discovered in pottery from archaeological contexts around the world. The study of this lipid residue in Indus pottery shows a dominance of animal products in vessels such as meat of non-ruminant animals like pigs, ruminant animals like cattle, buffaloes and sheep or goat, as well as dairy products. So whenever we have a question in prelims and one of the option is that let's say whether they consume the dairy products, whether they consume meat, so there are studies which shows that yes, they could have been consuming meat as well as dairy products. Okay, and lipid content on those vessels, understanding those let's say studying those lipid contents have found, or let's say these studies have concluded that they may be consuming these products. Okay, so basics जो है Indus Valley civilization, which are the sites, हमारे लिए पढ़ाई के लिए important क्या होता है इसमें, which are the sites of Indus Valley civilization which are there in India and which of them are in Pakistan now, their location, even in India which states. Also the government has decided some important Indus Valley civilization, some of the sites, archaeological sites to be developed as national monuments in those at those sites. तो ये भी हमारे लिए important है कि कौन से वो sites है, वो बजट में अनाउंस किया गया था, right? So ये important है. At the same time, from men's perspective, what is important is that which features let's say of Indus Valley civilization suggests that it is the urban civilization, like use of burnt bricks or the kind of let's say drainage pattern it had. Okay, like this modern day drainage pattern, like covered drainage and all these things. You should mention or study this from men's perspective, and this is from prelims perspective कि कौन से side पे क्या मिला था, बाकी ये सब चीजें. This is given in NCERT, you can read that. Okay. Yes, some important captions and quotations. So these are the two captions. Policy makers, this is from Polity and Governance. If the essay is on these topics, you can use this. If anyone has to ping a single let's say gravest threat, तो ये nutrition की बात कर रहे हैं, malnutrition की. So this comes again under the social justice part, you can say that. Fine, so use this in your answers, very good statements. Okay, so these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. For further information on editorial discussion classes or ED classes, wherein in-depth analysis of all these mains related questions, or let's say not questions specifically, we will say issues and articles, is done by Ansari sir and team. For that information about that batches, you can contact Lukman IAS. Thank you.